you know, Charlie Lee,
Right.
Charlie Wong,
And
Susie
then
Wong,
and
and
right,
they're
and then
Christians.
China went through the Mao thing, so they
Hmm.
kind of feel like they've been completely, cleansed and
They went
whatnot.
through a cultural
Went
revolution.
through a cultural revolution, so they're looking at those people like y'all are completely not like us.
And check this out. In China, they remembered this, and they remembered that the reason why they lost Hong Kong is because they did not have the engineering capabilities that the British had in terms of naval warfare. So guess what the Chinese decided to do?
Right.
They were going to become the engineers and the manufacturers for the world.
Of the world. Henceforth, fast forward to the military parade that they just had, where they showcase the world's most advanced weaponry. Please continue.
Because they make everything. They make everything for everybody. They decided that that was what they were going to focus on, and they did it quietly. They didn't have any loud speeches. They didn't do any protest marches about how white people ain't treating them good. They didn't protest against Hollywood for having ching chong ching movies. They got quiet. They studied engineering. They took all American goods and did reverse engineering. And people used to laugh at Chinese goods. Now Apple has its headquarters for manufacturing in China. They've mastered manufacturing so well that all manufacturing that's done that's serious in this world is outsourced to China.
Facts. Even
Okay.
designer.
And this happened in the last 50 years because
Yes.
they think in terms of centuries. China.
It started in the 70s. Yeah.
Okay. They're not playing any games with anyone and they're not apologizing for anything. And if you go to China, you will see that it is about 30 years ahead of America in terms of technology, infrastructure, development. They've got whole cities that they build for the fun of it that's unoccupied.
Facts.
Okay. So the reality of the situation is that when you have a serious people who decide that they're going to be serious with serious leadership, they understand what it's about and they understand that you're going to have to become scientists par excellence. And until black folks worldwide decide to take science and engineering and technology seriously, we will always be suffering from the symptoms of powerlessness. So everything that happens to you as a black person in these societies is just a symptom of the lack of power and cohesion that we had as a project. You see, the Jews have a project that's intergenerational. The Egyptians, the Kemetic people who built the pyramid was not built in one generation. It was a multi-generational project. You understand? The Haitian Revolution didn't happen in 3 years. The first part of the Haitian Revolution started with Macandal in the 1700s. Then it was carried on to Boukman. Then it went to Toussaint and Dessalines. Then it went to Boyer. It's multi-generational. And so
Fact.
the only way that the people get out of the situation that they're in is to understand that this isn't about me, red pill, blue pill. This is something that's going to be handed on. The baton's going on from generation to generation to generation.
Consistency. Consistency. Persistency. Bloodlines.
Exactly. But what
Ongoing
happens is
continuum.
if a people are still fighting over identity today and they're not uniting, they cannot have a generational plan, a multi-generational plan, because they don't even know who they are today. So therefore, they can't unite for what tomorrow's supposed to look like. And that's what's happened to us. See, the Chinese are able to do it because they say, okay, you speak Mandarin, and then they have another Cantonese language. But the Mandarin is the main language, and this is what they're rocking with. And they take what they do seriously, and integrity is serious. I don't think people understand, like, even corruption, even people doing business with each other, like, and you become powerful and you become a politician. Do you know what happens to a corrupt politician in China? I don't know if y'all know. It's not just the death penalty. You know
Right.
what they do? They put you, if you're convicted of, as a politician, of somehow hoarding money or stealing money or embezzling money or corruption, they give you a little trial and then they imprison you. And they tell you that you're going to get death, but they don't
Right.
give you the date when you're going to die. You know when you're going to die? When you hear sirens, ambulance sirens. You know what? You know what the ambulance sirens are for?
For what?
They're coming to harvest your organs because they're saying that you are of no good to the Chinese people, but now you will be good to the Chinese people because we're going to use your organs for transplants for people who need it.
Who need it? Right.
Yes. So you will be of service to the people, even in your death.
Mm.
They've come to harvest your organs. That's when you know it's time for you to die. They come and take your organs out and they give them to people who need a liver transplant, a heart transplant, a lung transplant, because you are going to be of use.
Right. We're not
Or
just
some
gonna.
way or somehow, we're going to make you of use.
We
Now, you see,
gotta.
when you have a people like that,
Cold-blooded.
this is a serious type of people.
I love it.
This is a serious type of people. And the thing is like, until we want to get serious, we become people who are a non-factor. And for us to be a non-factor makes other people powerful because whether you like it or you don't like it, Africa is the most valuable piece of real estate on earth. That's where they get the uranium, the plutonium. This is where they get the cobalt, the coltan. This is what they get everything from. And so it is to the world's benefit for Africa to be disunited and in disarray and having debates with each other about who we are. And the world goes on, and factories are being built, and resources are being extracted. Because as quiet as kept, based on supply chain logistics, the place in the world that should have the most factories is Africa.
Facts.
Because your raw materials are there.
Oh, there. Right.
You cut down on transportation expenses. This is why I laugh people when people are like, oh, you a Pan-Africanist, go back to Africa. And I'm laughing at them because number one, I was born in Africa. And number two, I have a ticket going back to Africa next week. Or next month. Like, you're not telling me nothing. You're not insulting me by saying go back to Africa, because when we get on the plane, we find nothing but white people on the plane. And they're going there to extract the resources of your mother continent, but you forgot she was your mama. You happy being an orphan. You want to be an orphan. What orphan wants to be an orphan? And your mama's there. And your mama got riches that need to be developed. And if just for anything, just even for the sense of human greed, you'd want to go to Africa. Because when you go to Africa and you set up a factory, you see, let me tell you what the Chinese people are doing. And I ain't mad at them. Because if you could do it, you could do it. China is the factory of the world. The resources are in Africa. So you know what the Chinese do? They loan African governments money to get favor with the African governments who've been beholden to the European governments.
Right.
But the loan terms are, if you can't pay it back, we repossess your natural resources.
Right.
And we're going to loan you money to build roads.
Infrastructure.
Yes, but guess what the infrastructure is, my brothers? And you can see this in Jamaica too. The infrastructure is going from the deep forests where the raw materials are and roads leading to the ports. So the raw materials can get extracted from Africa and put on Chinese boats to go to China to be now refashioned in the Chinese factories and then sold to the world market.
Right.
You'll see this in Jamaica. Anyone who's been to Jamaica, there's a road that goes from Kingston to Ocho Rios. It's a toll road that the Chinese built. Guess where that toll road deposits? In the bauxite mines.
In the bauxite mines, right.
You go right by the bauxite mines. You thought that they were building roads for you.
Right.
Bauxite is what's used to make aluminum, y'all.
Aluminum.
You thought that they were building these roads for you. No, they're building it for them, and I'm not mad at them. But until African men decided, listen, we're not playing these identity politic games and tribal games and this and that. We're not doing that. We're doing science and engineering par excellence, and we are going to start being greedy.
Let me ask
what I mean by that is we're going to take Africa for ourselves and the wealth of Africa for ourselves, and we will then be the richest people on earth because we have married natural resources with engineering, technology, manufacturing. When Africa does that and is done by African men and women, Africa becomes a world superpower and nobody can tell us anything. This is the reality of the situation. And until people understand that, and you won't get it until you actually book a ticket and go to Africa and see the infrastructure. Africa's under construction.
Right.
People are making fortunes in Africa.
Right.
And I've been sitting down with African governments because I have businesses in Africa. And they're telling me, brother, you're coming in from America. They know I'm from Ghana, but they know I grew up in America because I have an American accent or a Caribbean accent. So they know. They know I don't have an African accent. So all the messages they're telling me, I'm talking about the government of Gambia, the government of Ghana, the government of Rwanda. I've sat down with government leaders and they've told me, please tell the brothers and sisters in America, we want them to come home and come and develop. Come and develop with us so that you can have something that you can pass on to your children. Because guess what? In Africa, there's no property taxes.
Right.
You can't own property in America. If you miss the taxes, the government takes it.
Right.
There's no property tax in Africa. Once you have land, you got it forever. In America, you miss payments that you on land that you inherited from grandpa. That land is gone from the family forever.
Mm.
You're paying the government rent in America. That's their little scheme that they set up. So you'll never own land in America free and clear, but in Africa, you can own land free and clear. And here's the thing. A lot of people listening right now, this might be new to them if you've been in America all your life, but when I go to Africa, there's many Black folks from America and the Caribbean moving to Africa.
Right.
That's all I'm starting to see. Brothers and sisters, like they left America 5 years ago. They haven't been back. Life is better for them. Their children are growing up in a better culture. They're actually getting better education. The African educational system in math and sciences is way advanced than the American math and science educational system. That's why when Black immigrants come from Jamaica or Barbados or Nigeria or Ghana and they go to school, they're advanced in mathematics past the American students. So what I'm telling you is that Africa is ripe. Those who want to pay attention can pay attention, but people are building fortunes in Africa. So that's why I tell people, you ain't got to be a Pan-Africanist. You just got to be a businessman to understand the opportunity. Basically, investing in Africa right now is like investing in Amazon in 2000. You're getting the stock low.
I love that analogy.
Right.
So, family, we are embarking on the 3-hour mark. I'm past my bedtime, about an hour and a half.
Real quick, I just want to see if anybody in the audience has got their ticket for this event that we are doing, this monumental event that we're coming together for. The people said that the people sent the signal and said the family in New Orleans is sick and they need to heal. So we got together this, we put together a dream team of healers. We got Mama Pill, we got Baba Heru, we got Blue Pill, we got Red Pill, and we got special guests October the 18th, New Orleans. And we will be live streaming it so you can see it around the world. Let me know who is going to be in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We have early bird tickets available. Make sure y'all take advantage of that. We will drop the link. The link is in the description. We will drop the link in the chat. I want to see y'all in the building on the 18th. The return of Mama Pill, the introduction of Baba Heru, the Twin Pillars hosting. It is going to be a movie.
Yes. So I want to leave y'all with one. I got a piece that I wrote that kind of like connects a lot of these dots that we've been hitting on today. You know what I'm saying? And maybe maybe I could get a guest slot on the album before it's finished. Hey, Heru.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's hear it.
As an analyst of this Futurama, they're using nanochips in food and pharma, toxic agents intoxicating like cannabis, GMO populations used to trauma for management, the corporations way off, waves of layoffs, gut to HR, wheels coming off like race cars. We bending corners. Judgment is upon us, descending into frigid waters, a cast of shady characters and questionable performers. The theater of politics requires intolerance. The globe is warmer, the heart is polar. Private funding to block the solar. As an analyst of the Futurama, they put in nanochips in food and pharma. I got Matlock streaming on laptop, streaming the back shots in Punta Cana. They're using BlackRock as the new Osama. Chatbots to confuse the genre. Soon you're gonna need suits of armor. They spraying heavy metals, attacking